What's up YouTube? It's your boy DC back again with another discussions video. This is number 8 and today we are discussing EDM artworks. So a while back I asked you guys what your favorite EDM cover art is and why, and also what your least favorite EDM cover art is and why, but we didn't really get that many responses for least favorite. There's only a couple, and actually I'm just gonna spoil it right now and I won't talk about it later, but a couple of you said Charlie XCX's Brad album is your least favorite cover art. And I can see why, because I mean it's boring. It's just literally the word brat in whatever font that is with a green background. And yeah, I can get why that's your least favorite. But let me preface this video by saying I have like zero artistic ability. Like I can barely draw a stick figure. So I don't know if it's really fair for me to, criticize artwork. I'm literally just going to share my opinions on whether I like this artwork or not. If I think it's cool, it's going to be pretty chill. But yeah, I'm just going to go through in alphabetical order. I think I have about 12 comments saved to talk about. And here we go. So starting with Melody Isn't Real saying, I have no idea why I love the artworks for Aiobahn's 2019-2020 songs. I just do. And I can see your profile pic is from a 2020 Aiobahn song, Meant to Be. And yeah, that one's pretty simple. It's got like, I don't really know how you would describe it. I don't know if this is like a form of anime sketch, but you got the girl sitting on the heart and it's like a gray background. I mean, that looks pretty cool. Kind of conveys the feeling the song's going for, and that's what I like most about artworks is if the artwork actually fits the theme of the song, because that's not always the case. But for this one, I would say yeah, because it's kind of like a love song. And then just going off example here, back in 2019, Motivation, kind of similar art style here. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be looking at. I guess it's two anime girls dancing together or something, but this is a very upbeat track, so it's almost like a workout track, honestly, with the lyricism. But I like this song as well. I probably should just talk about the artworks. Do I like this artwork? It's alright. It's not my favorite. I don't know if I should give these artworks ratings, but I would give Aiobahn's 2019 through 2020 styles like a 6.5 out of 10. I mean, they're not really my cup of tea, but I don't mind them at all. I mean, they work, so that's that. Moving on to Brain Defects comment here saying, kind of cheating on this one because I can't pick a single best, but my favorite album arts are Never Change, More, and Time Warp by Apashe. The exploding instruments look so cool, especially with that black and gold color scheme. Yeah, I don't know when these artworks came out. Hopefully it was before AI artwork was a thing, because it's always better seeing people make these themselves. Like this one looks like it was really complicated to make. You probably had to render it on a computer, obviously, making these intricate instruments explode. And this one looks like a woodwind instrument. Not entirely sure what that one's called. Thought it was a clarinet at first, but it's too big to be that. But that is looking very cool. I like the gold color scheme, like you said. Then you've got the wooden bass exploding with the strings. That looks pretty dope. And then you've got a brass instrument, might be a tuba or something. And I used to play trumpet, so this one kind of hurts, but I can't deny, looks pretty awesome. I'm going to give these probably like an 8.5 out of 10. It's a cool idea, and it was executed pretty well. Next up, Ursa's comment says, I love the Aetherborn cover art for how intricate it is and how every song on the album is represented. Yeah, if you don't know, this is by Chime, his album from, I want to say 2 years ago already, maybe? But yeah, this one is really cool. You've got the mountains in the background. You've got a very distinct color scheme with all the purple and blue. Then you've got the greenery in the front here with the forest. You've got Chime with his logo cape on, which looks really cool. All the lights, and then the sky with all the stars. And yeah, there's really nothing to complain about here. This is a fantastic cover art. It looks very like high definition as well in the picture I got. Yeah, I really have zero complaints. This might be our first 10 out of 10 here. Okay, next comment here by Lovers 5.8M. My favorite cover art is Electro-Light. I'm going to assume you meant Electro-Light Drakkar. Okay, looking at the artwork, pretty sure Drakkar is the name of like an old Viking ship or something, just based on the artwork. Not entirely sure about that lore, but it looks like a pretty cool drawing. Looks like it's pencil drawn in. The colors are very interesting. It's like navy blue and off-white maybe. Looks like a battle going on, or at least a storm coming in. The text is at the bottom there. It kind of takes up a little bit more space than I was wanting. But I don't mind this artwork. It's not my favorite. I'd probably give this like a 6 out of 10. Moving on, next comment here, Hayden Rutherford. Favorite cover art is for Rogue Remix of Galaxies by Protostar. The shades of oranges and reds are so pretty. Yeah, so I had a pretty unpopular opinion back in the day. Just talking about the song strictly. The original Galaxies, I didn't like it. And that was like right when I started my YouTube channel, so that was like my first major unpopular opinion. But the artwork back then was really cool. It was like purple and pinkish. And then Rogue made this remix a few years later. And now it's all red and orange. And if you know anything about me, Red and orange are like two of my favorite colors of all time. Yeah, I really don't have many complaints here. And of course, I like anything space related. I always think that's really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna give this like a solid, I think 8, 9 out of 10 maybe. Yeah. Okay, moving on to Husky's comment here. My favorite cover art, kind of cheating since it's for vinyl, but GRiZ's Chasing the Golden Hour Part 3 and 4 have such cool designs to them. If you get the two-parter in vinyl, there's a really beautiful art piece in the middle that combines both into its own unique design. That sounds pretty cool. Along with the design of it being cool, I feel both really fit the vibe of the albums. Colorful, vibey, trippy, everything I love about those projects and more. I am going to read your least favorite comment here because I found this interesting. You said, I'm cheating with this, but any cover art that is just generative AI slop. I mean, yeah, I talked about that earlier. And then you said cover art from labels that just take up the entire space, like the old school Monster Cat ones or any of the NSD Black Label covers. Yeah, I totally agree with that comment. Those are all generic and all the same, just different colors added to them. And yeah, no one really likes those cover arts, I feel like. We like it when artists get to express themselves. But yeah, back to your favorite cover arts here. We've got the Golden Hour Part 3. Yeah, like the longer you look at this, the more trippy it gets. You got a bunch of eyes looking at you. You got a ton of smiley faces. And you got some weird like creatures in the middle. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's a very vibrant color art right there. And then Part 4, also very trippy. Looks like a sun that looks pretty high. And it's like it's melting almost. And you got more eyes and more smiley faces looking at you. But yeah, I imagine it took whoever artist did this a while to make, unless they're just ultra talented and did in like 5 minutes. But me personally, this would take me hours, maybe days to make because I suck at art, like I said at the beginning. But yeah, this is very impressive and it definitely conveys the vibe the albums were going for. If you haven't heard those albums, definitely check them out. I think I listened to them once or twice. I should probably revisit them. It's been a while. Alright, next comment here by Deej Master. My favorite cover art is easily Mr. Bill's Phantasmagorical. The light blues, pinks, and white really pop, and there's so much tiny details that you find that it just feels like an art piece I would gladly hang up in a museum. I've also had it as my computer screen for a couple years now. Dude, that's a great idea. I need to make my wallpapers on my computer, bunch of cool artworks from albums. I've never even... Actually, I have thought about doing that. I've just been putting it off, so I need to do that. But yeah, looking at this artwork here, this is insane, dude. I can't believe the level of detail that went into this. I mean, you could spend hours looking at this and find something new each time. Just the scale. This actually reminds me of like a Where's Waldo drawing, if you know what I'm talking about. Except there's no Waldo in this, unless maybe there is. You never know. No, but seriously, I mean, you got a bunch of tiny little details. It looks like a bunch of ghosts or spirits in the middle. You got a big ant at the bottom there. It looks like a school playground or something. Yeah, you guys can pause the video and look at it more if you want, but this is pure talent. This is another 10 out of 10 for me. All right, next comment here by Gianna Koo. I've always loved the cover art for Neddie's You're a Real One EP ever since it dropped. The songs too complement the nostalgic feeling the album brings me, and the actual art itself makes me reminisce of car trips to Cape May, New Jersey as a kid, where we used to spend our summers and just have fun all day long. It's so good, bro. I even changed my playlist cover art to it. Man, I like the story you added there because that's what great artworks do. They invoke nostalgia. They invoke emotions you felt at a younger age. It takes you back to your happy places, I guess. And yeah, this one definitely conveys that feeling of a nice car ride with your family on a trip or something. It almost looks like it's Christmas time. I don't know. This reminds me of like the Polar Express, if you've ever seen that. Like the North Pole City and that. Love the sky in there. And I like how it's the perspective inside the car. And it looks like it's probably Neddie right there, just looking out. But yeah, this is simple, but highly effective, I would say. I would give this a solid 8 out of 10. Moving on to Wolf Philly's comment here. Any Pixel Terror cover art works, but as for my number one, I'm a huge fan of I Contain Flashing Images by Nomana. The cover art clicked with me from the moment it came out. The colors on it blend really well together, especially with how much is on it. And like I said earlier, there's a Brad comment, but I already talked about that. Yeah, this is another pretty complex artwork here. I'm pretty sure Nomana did it himself, which makes it even more impressive. But yeah, it's one of those, kind of like Mr. Bill's from a couple spots ago, that the longer you look at it, the weirder it gets. And those are always my favorite type of artworks. There's a lot going on in this. It's kind of like a digital retro style that fits the whole album. And if you haven't seen the video that goes along with this album on his own YouTube channel, definitely check it out. It definitely enhances the experience. The colors do blend really well together, like you said. I like it a lot. And yeah, overall, amazing cover art. I would probably give this a 10 out of 10 as well. I mean, I got no complaints. Okay, moving on to Fallen into Farrellow's comment here. My favorite cover art of all time is Nomana Lost Call Underwater. I love all of Nomana's pixel art, cover arts, but it's just the colors used, the vibe it gives off. It's just so perfect, and it fits the feeling that Lost Call and Underwater, especially Lost Call, give off. So yeah, I know Lost Call is definitely a fan favorite from the album. Not one of my favorites, but I can't deny this cover art is also amazing. So yeah, it's basically just like a small piece of the album cover art we just looked at, but blown up. It's kind of like if you combined all the single artworks into one, you would get the album cover art. So it's nice to take a step back and look at the single artwork and see more detail on the one or two songs they convey. Like this one, you got a sword sticking out of, looks like underwater, to call back to the underwater song. And then you've got some text on there you can read. You got, looks like an eye in the sky, some warning symbols, and Saturn up there. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on once again. Looks very cool. The color scheme is very unique and it works well once again here. And I don't know if I'd give this a 10 out of 10 just because I prefer the album art a little bit more. But I'll give this like, I'd probably give it, I don't know, 9 out of 10. It's pretty good. All right, we got 2 comments left here. First one, SNES MC3 fan. Favorite cover art is Notaker Shimmer. The pixelated artwork is such a wonderful style and the warm colors are gorgeous. And then you said Brat is your least favorite, which we already talked about. So, looking at Notaker Shimmer artwork, so I've always loved this song, and I think this is one of those artworks that definitely convey the feeling of the song very well. Just gives you summertime vibes, and it's like pixelated, kind of like No Man as we were just looking at, but this came quite a bit earlier than that, and it looks like it's not like super high quality, but that's kind of the charm about it. You like the sunset, you like the ocean, you like the sailboat sticking out there. So yeah, it's a very good artwork. I like the colors as well. So I'm going to give this another 9 out of 10. It's very good. And last but not least, we've got Ultra Sean saying my favorite cover art. Honestly, any of the Pixel Terror cover arts before they split. Though I would say Omega. I don't know why. It just looks pretty cool. Seeing Aria and Bentley traveling different places in these cover arts is pretty nice. So yeah, I never really thought much of this artwork just because it wasn't one of my favorite songs. I feel like if a song is really good, you come back to it a lot. You see the artwork a lot more, so it becomes one of your favorites. But this one was a little bit forgettable to me, so I haven't really spent the time looking at this artwork. But looking at it now, it's pretty decent. You've got the King Cobra in the background. Looks like they're in some sort of tunnel, or I don't really know, man. But then you look at their outfits, they look like they're wearing Egyptian kind of clothing or something like that. So there's a little bit of a theme going on there. But yeah, I can't really complain about Pixel Terror's artworks. They kept their theme consistent. They kept their style consistent with their drawings of themselves in different places. So yeah, this one's decent. I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. Well guys, that's going to do it for this Discussions video. My opinion on some of your favorite artworks. There were a handful of good ones in there. Liked it a lot. And like I've said in the past, music art is very subjective, but art is also very subjective. So there's really no wrong answer. It's just like whatever you like. So there's hundreds of artworks out there, so many different ones, pretty much endless. I've thought about in the past maybe doing like a ranking video or something on some of my favorite artworks. Maybe I'll do that sometime soon. We'll see. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.